Installation starts by clearing the slate of old plants to make way for your new landscape. This takes some time and effort, but we've got some good shortcuts and labor-saving approaches for removing your turf.
Removing your existing lawn is one of the most important components of installing a water-smart landscape. If the existing grass is not eradicated, including the roots, it can grow back and ruin your new landscape. Planting prematurely can mean years of fighting weeds. Before you install your new landscape, know how to properly deal with turf removal. The first step is to identify your turf type. This will help you determine the best way to remove it. No matter what variety of grass you have, all you really need to know is whether it is cool season, warm season, or a combination of both. Cool season grass actively grows in the spring and fall and looks green in the summer. It is characterized by small tufts of grass that spread out from one central point. The seed heads look similar to wheat. This type of grass is easy to eradicate. Warm season grass is brown in the winter and green in the summer. It has creeping stolons, so if you start pulling it up, you're likely to get a long string of roots. The seeds look like birds' feet. Warm season grass is a more persistent plant and requires more effort to remove. To eliminate cool season turf, your easiest option is to smother it with a thick layer of mulch called sheet mulching. Sheet mulching is a soil restorative process that we'll describe in detail shortly. Unlike cool season turf, warm season turf won't be eliminated by sheet mulching alone. Warm season turf demands a more aggressive approach. Prior to sheet mulching, dig out warm season turf between 3 and 6 inches deep. This can involve considerable effort and expense if you have a lot of turf to remove. Another method is to use a weed killer. Non-toxic grass killers are readily available, work well, and avoid far-ranging environmental issues. More toxic chemicals, including glyphosate and diquat-dibromide, are effective but carry risk to you and to the environment when misused. Be sure to follow all safety precautions. Chemicals will need repeated applications. Keep in mind that using chemicals only works when the grass is actively growing, typically between March and October. You can also pre-treat and kill warm season turf without chemicals using solarization. Solarization uses the sun's heat, amplified by a thick layer of clear plastic, to cook the grass and roots. Here's how it works. Water the area well. Cover it with a clear plastic, not black, 1 to 2 millimeters thick. Make sure the plastic extends beyond the lawn to compensate for any plastic shrinkage. Weigh the edges down with wood, bricks, or rocks to create a seal around the edges. Turn off your sprinklers and then let the heat of the sun cook it for 4 to 6 weeks. This method is not effective if your lawn is in the shade. Summer is the most effective time for solarization because it requires the heat of the sun to create high temperatures. No matter which method you choose, eliminate your warm season turf and always follow up with a soil restorative process. We recommend sheet mulching. Sheet mulching smothers any turf and weeds under several inches of newspaper, cardboard, compost, and mulch. As these layers decompose, they turn dead lawn into food that will support your new plants.
Sheet mulching is a process that any yard owner can accomplish with a few weekends of work and a small amount of material. It's a sustainable process that keeps waste out of the landfill and feeds your soil.
It's pretty easy too.
This is going to be new paving that's going to go here, and then a walkway that goes
Students from Miracosta College's horticulture program helped us with this sheet mulching demonstration. While the work isn't difficult, it goes faster with helping hands. In preparation, remove any woody or invasive plants and weeds or grass that survived. Any plants you don't want to keep should come out now. The plants you're keeping should have continued irrigation. That may mean converting spray heads to drip lines around trees and shrubs. Flag your sprinkler heads. If you know that you won't be using certain irrigation heads, you can cap them now if you'd like. By flagging heads or by taking location photos, they'll be easy to locate once the digging begins. Soak the area with water. Next, make room for the mulch at the edges. Cut out and remove the dead turf and soil at least 6 inches away and 3 inches below the concrete of your driveway or sidewalk. A flat edge shovel will do the trick, or if you have more to do, you can rent a gas-powered sod cutter. Take the sod you just removed and either dispose of it, or by turning it upside down, you can begin to create mounds for planting on at a later time. Now that you've prepped the area, lay down a weed barrier of newspaper, followed by cardboard. Make sure to overlap the layers and cover everywhere the turf is growing. Leave plants you want to keep exposed, but make sure you cover any nearby turf between your plants.
We have one more.
Do not use weed cloth. This is only appropriate under gravel and rocks. Wet the cardboard thoroughly. Next, layer organic matter on top of the cardboard. Use an inch or two of compost and then top that with 3 to 5 inches of soil building mulch. As a rule of thumb, 1 cubic yard of mulch will cover 100 square feet. Be sure to pull the mulch several inches away from the crown of the plant. You've just completed sheet mulching. This process composts your turf in place rather than hauling it away to the landfill. If you experience a breakthrough of some of the warm season turf, dig out the offending grass or use a spot treatment of chemicals. Sheet mulching takes months to improve the soil, so put the layers in place and wait until nature has completed the soil building process, sometimes up to 6 months before you plant. If you're in a hurry to complete your landscape, you don't have to wait. Plant your large plants first and then sheet mulch between the plants. This way, your plants can grow while the earth beneath the sheet mulching is turning into rich, beautiful, and healthy soil.
I'm removing this ivy that's been growing here for years. It's a persistent plant, much like warm season turf. Subsequently, once it's removed, I'm going to smother the roots and shoots by using sheet mulching to keep it under control. In spite of all my efforts, it's likely that some of those shoots will break through. That's when I bring out the heavy weapons, chemicals. If you're going to use chemicals, please make sure that you research them, more than just reading the labels. Chemicals can escape into our environment and even our water supply. Subsequently, it's important that you use them sparingly and carefully. When you choose an organic chemical, there's less environmental risk, but it may only weaken the plant, not kill it. For an unwanted plant, this is your best tool. Removing your turf requires diligence. Done properly, with patience and care, it will save you the long-term battle with resilient grasses and the seeds they leave behind. With the lawn gone, the stage is set to install that water-smart landscape you've been planning for.